Hey, this is Dale Tinsley. You're listening to the Connect podcast. Our purpose is to guide you to connect with yourself so that you can connect with others and live a life of meaning and value. Continuing the series, Limitless Potential, Endless Refinement. Peace be with you, and welcome back to the Connect podcast. I hope you're feeling energized today, full of light, getting enough sun, getting enough sleep, doing the maintenance required for you to feel vibrant, for you to feel engaged in your own life. For today's episode, active listening. So let's talk about active listening, and let's compare that to passive listening. One is active, one is passive. Passive listening is what we notice, observe, and even experience sometimes on a daily basis, where you're trying to connect with somebody, you're trying to share something of meaning and value to this person, and they're on their phone, they're looking around, they're passively listening to you while you're actively listening. And it can create some frustration. It can leave us wondering why we're even trying at times. Those are teachable moments for ourselves and for the other person if we have the right tact. So one is passively listening, one is actively listening. And passively listening, it's like when you go to a restaurant and you walk in and you witness a couple and one person speaking, and you look over at the other person, they're somewhere else. Then you look over at another table and 5 of the 8 people are on their phones. And we see it all the time. You might even be on the phone with somebody and you say something, you're kind of waiting for a response, and they're, oh yeah. And it's like, did I catch you at a bad time? Do you have a lot going on? Active listening is an essential part of the art of communication, the nuances of communication, eye contact, tones, being engaged, 2 people trying to connect. And the art of active listening it's a game changer. So what are some of the levels that we really need to understand to be an active listener? We need to understand that distraction will kill it. We have to be fully present. We have to make the time for the person that we're trying to communicate with to be fully active listening. And the benefits that come from it, we feel engaged, we feel present, we feel connected. We're not listening to just respond. We're listening, we're taking in, we're sitting with it, we're processing it. And that's how we need to show up for ourselves. So practicing it and being self-aware of moments when we're in a phone call and we're feeling distracted, or we're aware that we're being distracted, we have to bring ourselves back to the present. We have to ground ourselves and keep ourselves grounded. And self-awareness is our superpower, 100%. And passive listening is something we can all relate to, because we may be at a point now that we are aware, we're self-aware, we've had an awakening, a spiritual awakening. But we were all asleep at one point. And passive listening, if you remember back, or if you're there now and you catch yourself in those moments, it's like you feel alone. You don't feel connection. The conversation may be bothersome. You feel disengaged, disconnected. Dim, even. And that's why the internal work that we do is so important. Because those are all signs that we need to sit with ourselves in meditation and truly get to the essence and the different layers of what's gotta be dealt with, what we need to process, what we need to engage with within ourselves. Opening that closet door and looking at those items and saying, I'm going to sit with one. Making that choice to tackle it, to free ourselves so that when we open that closet, there's nothing in there. And then we're processing things in real time, because life will continue to throw challenges at us. That's a fact. It could be work, it could be a relationship, it could be a death in the family. It could be something traumatic, it could be a robbery, it could be a hurricane. Life will continue to throw us challenges. And we've got to take those lemons and we've got to make lemonade with the right sweetener. Don't use the synthetic stuff, my friends. So having the self-awareness to realize that we're passively listening, and having the courage and the self-love to get to the root of why. What's going on with me? Why am I this way? And each one teach one. If you're witnessing somebody, or you during this conversation, somebody comes to mind, share the Connect podcast with them. The goal is to expand the community organically. Now let's talk about active listening and really get into some of the benefits. Having the self-awareness that we're going into a moment and we need to be fully present, fully engaged, even excited maybe. You know, if it's a friend you haven't spoken to in a long time and you're going to have a conversation, or you're going to go to lunch, or you've got a meeting that you need to present at, Or even something like a movie that you've been excited to watch. To truly be engaged and be actively listening, we need to make the time and dedicate ourselves fully 100% to that moment. We need to put our phone on silent, put the phone away, turn the music off, whatever distractions may pop up to pull you out of the moment. We need to set ourselves up for success so that we are fully present, fully engaged, and really gonna gain all the meaning and value from the work meeting, from the lunch with the friend, from the phone call, from the FaceTime. And if something steps in to try and pull us out of that, we call a quick timeout and we handle the situation and say, hey, I'll get back to you later. I need to be involved in this. And that allows us the space that we need to be fully present and totally connected to the moment that we're in, my friends. So you might say, well, Dale, what's the point of actively listening? Understanding. When we're involved in a conversation, are we just listening to hear? Are we listening to comprehend? And really, this uncovers the fact that we have to dig within ourselves to truly understand ourselves and our whys. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Why do I feel this way? Why do I react this way? We have to understand ourselves at a profound level, my friends, if we're going to be able to understand someone else. We can relate. Oh, I can relate to that. I was in a similar situation. I can relate to that. Understanding and listening actively to understand is a more profound level than listening to relate or passively listening. Listening to understand is going to give you the most bang for your buck. It's going to bring the most meaning and value. And it's going to uncover compassion, empathy, warmth, energy. It's a beautiful thing. So truly getting to the essence of who we are is key in this episode, in every episode. Because every episode is simply a layer on our hero's journey to connect with ourselves at a profound level, mind, body, and spirit. And we need to nurture and feed daily our connection with God. Making the time to sit in prayer, making the time to meditate, taking moments throughout the day to show gratitude to God for this amazing life and this amazing opportunity that we have. Because we didn't come this far to only come this far. And if this message right now finds you in a turbulent season, in a rough season, you're at a low, remember that this too shall pass. but we have to be actively listening to God, to our intuition. We have to be actively listening and taking action in our own lives to shift out of that low season, to shift out of those rough waters, to shift out of that turbulent time. Make the time for yourself to sit with yourself, my friends, and process it. I want to leave you with the most important part of actively listening, and listening to understand and comprehend and feel your kids or a child. Eye contact, no distraction, and truly connecting with the child. And even putting yourself in the child's situation for a deeper level of comprehension and understanding. Personally, for myself, I know that I didn't get that as a child. And when I got the connect download from God, that was the core of it, was connecting with my daughter and maintaining that connection and building that connection and nurturing that connection. So the roots of the Connect podcast are the parents connecting with their kids at a profound level of understanding, comprehension, compassion, and empathy. Be an active listener. You do it for your music when you're singing along and you're bobbing your head and you whatever music just jumped in your head. It could be classical. It could be reggae. It could be Bob Marley. Be present. Let that passion out. Be an active participant in your hero's journey, my friends. Because the quality of your communication, taking in information and sharing information, it's a big part of this. I would like to invite you to go to theconnection.studio. Check out the journal for today's episode. Grab yourself a t-shirt. Support the Connect podcast. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so that you know every 2 weeks when we drop a new episode. And share this episode with somebody that you know who is passively listening, passively engaged in their life. We've all been the victim when we were consumed with ego. We were all blaming. Wasn't me, it was you. I did this because you did that. One side is living passively. The other side, connected to spirit and authenticity, is living actively connected to God, listening to intuition. I hope this episode helped you open your mind and open your heart. Till next time, friends. God bless. Thanks for joining us at the Connection Studio. You can support us by sharing with others and posting to social media. Keep doing the internal work. as it will truly make all the difference. God bless.